father, my grandfather, looked down to me, and at age 13, he looked into my eyes and he said, "Connor, success is earning more than your father." And when an old, wizened man with grey hair that I respect said something like that, it went right into the box of truths. So at the age of 13, I thought, okay, that's success. 10 years ago, I was listening to Warren Buffett. And Warren Buffett was speaking to about 150 MBAs in an environment just like this. And Warren Buffett asked us a question. And I'm going to ask you the question that Warren Buffett asked. The deal for all of you, the deal that Warren Buffett gave us. For $1,000, you give me the name of someone you know, and every month I'll give you 10% of everything they earn. For $1,000, you give me a name, and month after month after month, you'll get 10%. So take a moment while we're here. Imagine we're in here, the 200 people you know best are around you, and you're thinking, who would I make this bet on? When Warren asked this question, I remember in my mind, 3 or 4 faces came into my mind. And I hope, as you think about this, who would I bet on? Some faces are coming into your mind. Who would you bet on? Who would you choose to make this bet? To bring up $1,000 and a name, who would be the name that you would write down? Now, this is a pretty important bet. If we did this right, it could make a big difference. So let's think about how you would do this properly. Here's one idea. We'll get those 200 people that you've imagined are here to get their grades from school. And we'll get the grades from school and rank it from the highest to the lowest. We'll choose the highest. The sad thing is that 12-year-olds would laugh at that as an idea. How about best friends? I'll choose you if you choose me. Best friends. A terrible waste. Far better we both choose Blair. So if grades from school is not what we would use, if best friends is not what you would use, what criteria is our mind already using as you think about who you would choose for this bet? 10% of all the future income. What criteria would you use? What criteria is your mind already using as you think about who are the people around you that are really going to have an impact? Who would you bet on? Now, Warren Buffett is worth 60 billion. And Warren Buffett is worth 60 billion. He's not invented anything. He doesn't have patents. He doesn't sell. He does not manage a company. He's not a banker. He makes one decision each day. He hears from people and he makes a decision. Would I bet on this group? And his net worth of 60 billion seems that he makes this decision quite well. Warren Buffett has 3 criteria to take this decision. Would you like to hear the criteria that Warren Buffett uses to make this decision? Yes. 60 billion of worth because he takes this decision well. And a lot of his investments look like a bet where they own 10% of all the future income. Warren Buffett's criteria number 2, energy, a bias to action, health, an ability to put 14 hours of productive work. Number 3, intelligence. Intelligence, not chess playing intelligence, not sitting in a room for 4 years thinking through, adaptive intelligence. If you're running along a street, the intelligence that before you run into the lamppost and take a blow in the head, you turn just enough that it hits your shoulder and you can keep moving. Adaptive intelligence. Well, number 2 is energy. Number 3 is intelligence. Without number 1, Warren Buffett would rather you were dumb and lazy. Without number 1, you're a danger to yourself, to your society, to your company, to your family. Warren Buffett's number 1 criteria, without which the rest does not matter. Integrity. Integrity measured by you say no to most things. If you do not say no to most things, your life is being divided up into 1,000 little pieces handed out to other people's priorities. Integrity is measured by how often you say no. So these three criteria, integrity, energy, and intelligence, they worked for Warren Buffett. They seem like good criteria. Good criteria to take a bet, to own 10% of all the future income of someone. There's a person in this room that without writing the name on a sheet, without finding $1,000, you already own more than 10% of all the future income. There's a person in this room that you own far more than 10%. You own 100% of all the future income of a person in this room. Yourself. But what I very much hope is that if you would use those three criteria to make a bet for 10% of other people, you're working very hard on integrity, energy, and intelligence in your own life. And given that we've got a few minutes to go, how about I share 3 tools. One that can help maximize your intelligence, one that can help maximize your energy, and one that can help maximize integrity. Intelligence, write stuff down. The ideas that you've picked up in these 2 days here in Athens, if you write them down, they're still there 6 months from now. If you write down the people you meet, the ideas you have, 6 months from now, you are the cumulative intelligence of all those ideas. Energy. A few years back, 2008, tough time in my business. Ken Blanchard came from the US and he gave a talk. And his talk, 3 things a leader should do in times of uncertainty. And the 3 things were good. Beacon of hope, communicate, vision. But in the lunch after his talk, I was sat at the table with Ken Blanchard. Ken Blanchard was sat just in front of me. And I said to Ken, 29 days every month I wake up in the morning, and I can be a beacon of hope, and I can push, and I can share the vision. But Ken, 1 day each month, I wake up in the morning, and it's somebody else's turn. It's not my turn today. Ken, does this ever happen to you? And Ken was sat just in front of me, and 83 years old. I remember his answer. I asked him the question, and he leant back, like Yoda. And he said, start the day slowly. He said, when he wakes up in the morning, before he rushes out of bed, he sits on the edge of his bed, and first, he takes his hands, and he puts them palms down on his legs, and he listens to his body. He listens to the thoughts running through his head. He listens and sees the faces and the people that he's thinking about. And he takes the time to hear the noise inside himself, the pain in the shoulder. And it might take 5-6 minutes. When he feels that he's heard, he takes his hands and he turns them over. And he asks himself, at the end of the day today, what do I want to be grateful for? And he told me that when he does that, he finds that he reconnects back to why he is the beacon of hope and sharing the vision. When he starts the day slowly, it makes sense how things are connected together. I remember as I sat there 5 years ago and he'd shared this story, I thought, that's it, every morning for the rest of my life. I fail most mornings. I probably do this about once a week. But when it really matters, when it's really difficult, I know that slowing down, taking time to just listen to myself, to think about what this day is, clarifies for me why I get up and I'm a leader within EO, I'm running my business. So energy, start the day slowly. Learn to take rest properly. Integrity. Do you know how a child spells love? A child spells love T-I-M-E. I spent the last 20 years working in big business, teaching MBAs. I spend lots of time with people who tell me that family is the most important thing. You open up their agenda, you will not find time in there. All the intention in the world doesn't mean much to my 7-year-old daughter. Her measure of love is time. So, integrity, time. Where is your time going? Energy, start the day slowly. Intelligence, write stuff down. And I hope you bet on yourself, because after these days, I would certainly bet on many people here. 2 weeks ago in Barcelona, we had the Growth Summit. Vern Harnish brought some wonderful speakers to Barcelona. The final speaker, David Marquardt, captain of a US submarine, the USS Santa Fe. It went from the worst to the best submarine, the joke of the fleet to the pride of the fleet. And at the end of his speech to the entrepreneurs in Barcelona, David Marquardt, captain in the US Navy, told us that what he had learned in running the submarine was that it was not about using people to make a better Navy. His mission was to use the Navy to make better people. EO's mission is not to make a better EO. The great joke of what we're on here, building EO, making a better EO, it's not about making a better EO. EO is about making us better people. When I was 13, I was told success, earning more than your father. That's not success. Success is what I've seen over the last 2 days here, and it's been a privilege to share these 2 days with all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Connor. We had a long to get through. That was absolutely fantastic.
Thank you,
so
Adrian.
much for sharing your time with us today.
Pleasure. And by the way,
I will see you later.